Bueno muchachos, finalmente ha llegado. ¿Qué será? 4 meses después, finalmente ha llegado. Pero veamos qué contiene. ¡Tarán! ¡Uy! Finalmente ha llegado, pero antes que el 2 fue el primero. Sí señores, el hermano mayor, el papá. Y aunque ya tenemos este nuevo pasaporte, para el día de hoy no lo necesitaremos. Lo que sí necesitaremos es una buena chaqueta, o como dirían mis amigos mexicanos, una buena chamarra, porque chaqueta significa algo más, ya que estamos a menos 17 grados y se siente a menos 23. El día de hoy estaremos visitando un par de amigos que decidieron dejar la ciudad e irse a vivir al campo. Y nos estarán compartiendo un poco de cómo ha sido su experiencia viviendo en el campo. ¡Vámonos! Ah, Mila, give it to me. Thank you so much for being today with us in Maleta y Pasaporte. Thank you for having us here and for sharing a little bit about your experience. Let's dig in. Guys, can you please share a little bit about yourselves?
So my name is Mary. I'm from Belgium in Europe. I arrived in Canada at the beginning. It was in Montreal in 2017. After a few months there, I decided to move into Winnipeg for a job. And I met that guy a few years later. And finally I decided to stay in Manitoba.
Yeah, so I was the one that convinced Marie to stay. And we met when we were both living in Winnipeg, and now we're living near the town of Stead, Manitoba, so north of Winnipeg, about an hour north of Winnipeg.
Okay.
And we love it here.
Okay guys, what motivated you to live in the countryside?
I was more like a city girl, but I changed my mind a little bit. A few years ago, in 2020, we wanted, I wanted to be more like closer to the nature, and so close to the lake and not so far from the city. I needed just to be more in the nature, more like
more freedom,
more freedom,
sure.
more space. We needed more space, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up in outside the city when I was a kid, and I had always wanted to move back outside the city, but being a musician, I wanted to be close to the cultural scene, so that's sort of what kept me in the city. But then, well, let's say over the last 2 years, all the entire cultural scene disappeared, unfortunately, and so there was really not much left for me in the city as far as that's concerned. So we thought, okay, now's the right time. Let's make the move, and you know, it's nice to be in the country where you can be creative with the space that we have and have fun with it, and yeah, so far so good. We love the country life. So
okay,
yeah.
Very good, guys. Would you mind sharing a little bit about the project that you are doing here in this place with us?
Sure, yeah. So I think our goal, our plan is to have like several cabins,
little rental cabins or lodgings, little spaces that people can rent on the property. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So we have already a dome. It's not finished yet, but it's settled.
We've constructed a dome cabin.
Yeah.
It's a 4-season cabin. It's insulated. You can have a little wood stove in there, and we might build a loft in there or something like that, and have basically a little cabin that people can rent, a dome-shaped cabin.
Yeah. When we moved in, we discovered already that there was a cabin in the woods.
There is a cabin in the woods.
There is a cabin in the woods. And
that was already there. So,
the plan is also to renovate that cabin.
Okay.
And then we have a teepee, a large teepee that we've also purchased that we're going to be setting up in the forest as well to rent out. And then a tiny home. So we got a little shack that one of the neighbors gave us from their yard. And we're going to convert that into a little tiny home space to rent as well. So yeah, and then ultimately what we would like to do with the site too is do events, maybe weddings or maybe like artist residencies or things like that.
And maybe on the side we have also that project to be more like autonomous for the food.
Right. So we're learning how to garden and to do gardening and canning and stuff like that. So we had our first full summer season last summer, and it was a good experience. We were quite busy with the garden and canning and stuff like that. So we're learning how to do that.
How do you learn that? Like someone is teaching you, or you learn by yourself, or how do you do it?
Internet.
Yeah, the internet has a lot of information.
Okay.
But we also have a neighbor who's very an avid gardener, and we've become quite friendly with him, and so he's been really helpful with tips and how to do certain things. And I would like to learn how to hunt as well. My neighbor is a hunter, and he wants to show me. So we're gonna hopefully learn how to do hunting and just try to become more autonomous. In terms of our food. So that is the goal.
What do you miss and what you don't miss about the city?
So Marie and I are both people that love to host, and we love having people over.
Yeah.
And one thing we've realized, I think one of the challenges I've realized is it's not quite as easy to get people out to your parties or events out in the country, because it's just that extra drive. Whereas if you're in the city, people will come and go quite regularly. So we were used to hosting quite a bit at our place in the city. But now we want to create something that's so magnificent that people are going to want to come here and see us, right? That's kind of the idea. We want to create a space that people will want to come to. Yeah. And so that's what we're going for right now.
Guys, do you have any funny or scary anecdote that you want to share with us?
Yeah. So once we have a dog called Mira, and so once I heard Mira, she was barking a lot, but I was like, oh, that's weird. It's like very long. What happened there? I saw through the window there was something in the bush, and she was barking on that thing, and the thing moved, and I saw that it was like a big bear. I was like, a black bear, and hopefully I was so afraid for Mila, and so I called Mila, come, and she came immediately.
That's something that you don't see in Winnipeg for sure.
Black bears, not so much, no. We see deer in Winnipeg, but or coyotes.
And here we saw also another animal.
Yeah, so we also last summer we saw a lynx in our yard. Yeah, so we were babysitting a friend's dog, and it's a small little dog, a beagle, and it was tied to a chain outside, because otherwise if we didn't have it tied up, it would run away. So anyway, we had the dog tied up for a good part of the afternoon, and the dog was whimpering and didn't want to be tied up, and I guess it attracted a lynx, because I guess the lynx thought it would be free lunch or something. and so next thing we know, we're looking out on the deck there, and we see this big cat coming across the field and towards this little dog, and then we started to get excited about it, and we were calling our each other, going, hey, there's a lynx. And and then I guess it didn't realize we were there, so
Yeah.
that's why it came out. And
Yeah.
then when it saw us talking, then it just turned around and it just walked away and went
away.
back into the forest. But that's a pretty rare sighting. You don't see. I mean, lynxes are very sneaky, so you don't see them very.
Hide, yeah.
You don't see them.
Okay, Mari, because maleta y pasaporte is meant for immigrants that want to come or are already in the process to come. Would you mind to share with us a little bit of your journey, how you came here to Canada, where are you now?
So I came here with a working holiday permit. So for the Belgian people, it's just 1 year.
Yeah.
So after that, I had a closed work permit and another closed, I think, and another open. So
Okay.
it was a long process with the work permit. And finally, when the conditions were good, I applied for the PR via the provincial program.
Yeah.
I got the PR 2 years ago,
Okay.
and so I think I will be very soon eligible for the citizenship.
Oh, wow. Okay, Mari, and for those people that are watching us now and they are in their houses, back in their countries, do you have any advice that you would like to share with them or any tip?
Yeah, I think it's important if you want to immigrate to Canada to be prepared. So for your English, for also, I don't know, the cost of life, for everything. So yeah, look for information about the city you want to move in. And I think it's important also to come here with this open mind and this positivity, because it's a new country, new habit, new people. So yeah, be curious, ask questions, be yourself, but be open, because I think you will change a little bit your habits. For example, you will not find the products you used to eat.
Yeah.
So you have to be flexible, yeah, for sure. But it's a beautiful adventure. It's gonna be okay for you, and yeah, it's a fantastic journey. You meet so many new people and very interesting people, like you guys. We met at the English course. Yeah, you will meet so many people from different parts of the world. It's one of the advantages to be in Canada.
And what about you, Pierre? Would you give any advice? You live with Mari, you have seen other immigrants.
Mm-hmm.
Would you give us any advice?
I would say, if you're single, meet a good Canadian, and they'll help you. They'll show you the way. I'm kidding.
That's a good one for sure.
Yeah, and then get a cat
Get a cat, yeah.
and a dog.
Yeah.
They make your life a little bit more joyful, and learn to play an instrument.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just general good advice
Yeah. Okay.
for general happiness in
Yeah.
life. As I understand, there's a lot of opportunity if you're French speaking, or if you're if you're Spanish speaking. I mean, there's opportunities here for people of all cultures too. As you say, it's very multicultural, so
Yeah.
you'll probably find your community here. You know.
¿Qué piensan ustedes de la visión de esta pareja? Comprar un terreno afuera de la ciudad, cerca de 1 hora, un terreno enorme, y empezar a construir este tipo de elementos, un domo, una casita en medio de la nada, un tipic por allá, que les permitirá empezar a promover el turismo, el ecoturismo en la zona. No sé ustedes, pero a mí me parece una idea súper interesante y genial. ¿Y ustedes se animarían a vivir acá? Y con eso llegamos al final del video del día de hoy. Espero que hayan visto un poco cómo es la vida en el campo en Canadá, que hayan podido evidenciar un poquito cómo se siente el invierno. Y ya, no olviden sonreír y pasarla bueno, bonito y sabroso.